Hi guys. Let's spice up our blues a little bit. We have a. I'll just play a little bit over these chords. So here A, D, 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 E, D, A, D, E. Back to A. So we have a lot of choices. Um, right now, I want to talk about the relationship between an A and the D because it goes back and forth a lot, and lots of times, not with every player, of course not, but with some players, a lot of players, what happens is you hear this blues sound, and they go here and they stay right down in the same position, and that scale will play over all three. It'll play over all three chords. The problem is just it starts to sound repetitive, and when we have A, when we go to D, we have like a new sort of set of colors that we can mess with. And here, there's a little scale that if we learn this will change when we go to D. It's going to change a lot. Let's just learn this right here. By the way, for you theory guys, what I'm doing is I'm playing the bottom half of an A Dorian, which makes it a D Mixolydian. All right. Um, I was just gonna say let's learn this little scale, and then we'll add it in. So, but I I don't want to get busted by a theory guy and by saying, well, that's you know. So anyway, theoretically, but what we're really doing is we're just gonna learn this little scale. It's gonna sound good when we go to this D. So let's get into this. We're just gonna go uh, one, on a D string. We're gonna go 4 5 7. Then we're on the next string. We're doing the same thing, 4 5 7. That would be on the G string. So on the B string, we're going 5 7 8. And then on the high E string, we're doing 5 7 8. So as you can see, there's patterns right there. Now, and back down. Now, when we're in A and we're playing around our minor blues scale, guitar don't got on 2. We'll make it work. We go here. I'm just going to play that scale right over this so you can hear it. It just fits. back to A, here. So let's jump into this a little more. What we really want to do is we want to still play around the A minor blues scale, but we want to start to incorporate some of the notes out of this pattern. And obviously, whichever note we go to is going to create a different sound, but it is going to pull us more towards this chord, because this scale, if I was to get real theoretical here, was literally that part, that scale that we just played right there, is designed to fit over this chord. So essentially, there isn't a bad note. So what's one of the first things we can do? If we go here, one of the first things I personally, when I start to look at the scale and I see this, first of all, what we can do is we can bend this note up to here, this note up to here, and this note right here, we have that note, so we can bend that note up, so we can literally go. And then this is A. Then we go and walk down to. So right there is already changing a lot of stuff. We're going to walk down that scale, go into the A blues scale, and then we're just going to walk down right here, 7, 5, 4 on the D string, and we're going to come back up to the 5th fret on the G string, and we're going to bend that up just a little bit, just to give it some flavor. So we have this. On the blues scale we have. But around this scale, I really like because we have this. Back to A. Back to A. So right there we have this. So over the D, now that we have this sort of sound right here, we can go down to on the D string 7, 5, 4, and come back and bend this up a little bit. Or we can go. So instead of, we're starting at the beginning of that scale, and we're just, we're going. And over the D, look at this note. We're starting right on the major third of it. And that's one of the tones that is, this note is not in the major blues scale. When you're over minor blues scale, I'm sorry, but when you're over D, we're literally, not only is it not, but it's literally the third in the D9 chord. So we have this. sort of sound that we can pull out over this D. So, you know, that lick is like 4, 7. No, I'm sorry, it's not 7. 4. No, I'm sorry, that is right. 4, 7. And then I'm bending up on the 5th fret on this G string, just a little bit, and I'm landing back on 7 on the D string. If we don't bend that, it sounds like this. And we want, you definitely want that. So there's a lick right there. Another thing that comes to mind coming down the scale, we can start 8-5 over D. So we're going 8-5 on the high E. Then on the B string, we're going to the 7th fret. On the G string, we're going to the 5th fret. On the D string, we're going to the 7th fret. And then we're going to the 5th fret, same string, D. And we're dropping down. We're back here. So that sort of has that, or then back to A. And it really, after the, it just resolves so nicely back into that my A. So we also have these sort of like, you can hit this note and slide this up and slide it back, sort of one of these deals, like notice when I get back, I'm just bending it ever so slightly. I'm not even bending it up here. I'm just bending it so it doesn't sound just dead. Just it's just like a half of a half step. So you have that, but you also have right there. I'm instead of sliding to 7, I'm sliding up to 9. I don't know if I can do that slow. So we have we have this, right here I'm bending up in here. So I'm bending up just a half step on the 7th fret on the B string, coming down to the 7th fret, playing the 5th fret, and now I'm playing the 7th fret. Did I say that correctly? Let me re-go over that just in case. I'm on the 7th fret here. I'm bending it up to the 8th fret. I might have said that wrong. Back down to 7, 5, and then I'm going to the 7th fret on the G string. And then we're going to do this. So, and then I'm barring here on the 5th fret, and on the B string, I'm picking it. Let me back out a little bit, you guys. So, I'm picking. Well, that's not helping much. I'm picking up on the B and on the G string. and I'm bending that G string just a tiny bit again. You know, it's a funny thing real quick, is that we use this scale, and do you know this note right here, it often gets turned into, we always hear that. Oh, you hear people bending it. You almost never hear it. You always hear it. And I'll tell you why. If I was to break down musically, every single one of these notes are in the key of A except for this one. This note is in key. So when people get to this note, I just a little tiny thing there. That's why I think people are always trying to bend it, because it doesn't fit. I'm telling you, it's out of key. But it has its we've grown so used to hearing it. But I think that's why we're bending it. We're kind of leading towards this idea. So anyway, the idea is I don't want to just sit here and show you a bunch of licks out of that, because really when it goes here, you're just going to, let's play around with D. Let's say we're playing around in A minor, and I decide to go to a note that is out of that, and I go. Now that may not sound interesting right away, you guys, when you first hit a note out of this little pattern. But if it doesn't, try to bend it up to the next note. If I hit this, doesn't sound interesting, try to bend it up to the next interval that's in key. This. This note, I'd actually leave it right there and come right down like we did. So, you know, if you're solo, you're just play the. You can do literally anything with these notes, and you're going to be in key. So you can go. And that's going to work. It doesn't sound bluesy per se, but the point is you went here and you went to a note. Not only that's in that pattern, but let's see. Nothing too exciting there. So, but it's okay. We checked it out. What about so I slid up here. I've never played that before, but I would. Is that let's see. You can always play real quick before I get out of here real quick, you guys, a diminished scale. But you definitely want to mute it, palm mute it back here, because when you walk up it you don't want it to sound like, you don't want it to turn into a chord. But so, real quick. You know, that's kind of a that little diminished thing is definitely going to color up that D. So anyway, I'm playing 4, the 4th fret on the D string, and then I'm going to play the 7th fret on the same string, D, and then I'm playing the 5th fret on the G string, and I'm playing the 4th fret on the B string. Remember, I'm muting it so the notes don't blur. And now I'm going up to the 5th fret on the same string, B string. And then the last note is the 5th fret on the high E, which is actually perfect because it brings me right back to you don't have to sweep it, you can go. So it's just going to sound interesting over that D. All right, you guys, it's been 20 minutes. I'm sure you guys, I don't want to keep you here all day. I hope to see you at the next guitar get together. Thank you so much for coming by, you guys. Take care.